I wonder, coloreds, blacks, Negroes, niggas, Indian, whatever they want to call themselves. I wonder if they're ready to stop being played. I don't think so, but hopefully. So if you're wondering why the task force disappeared overnight and the governor pulled out, it's because that was the plan the whole time. See, the only thing you're going to get on the plantation is depression, unresolved, and death. I don't know why you guys keep avoiding this. So, the Democrats promised black people reparations. Convinced you guys that they were actually fighting for it. And then, of course, fell right through the cracks and did not happen at all. Now, the reason that this is because who promised it to you? See, as long as you're not being historically correct, and as long as you're lying to yourself, you will continue to be played the way that you're played. Now, look who you had in these town hall meetings or whatever. You had stupid black people. Black people dressing up like plantation slave masters. You can see on the screen right there. Hooping and hollering about slavery, and about justice being served and all this stuff. But black people brag about Harriet Tubman and the Underground Railroad getting free. So if that is the case, if you're that educated, then you know what you fought in the Civil War for. They're like, well, the 40 acres and a mule we didn't get. Of course, why not? It's because we're black. No, because the person who said they were going to give it to you got shot in the head. By who? The same people that you're going to asking for reparations. See, this is the thing. And this is why people like Tariq Nasheed was there. The guy who told you to pimp your daughters, or taught you ways on how to pimp your daughters. He made books on how to pimp women. Black person talking about your daughters. This is who you guys are following now with this FBA thing. Once again, Gavin Newsom and that task force or whatever that was going to give you guys reparations. This is the same thing. Remember, I only had 50 subs. My other page maybe had 1,000, whatever. Doesn't matter. You know why pages like mine will never get up? Shadow banned for one. And then for two, because I don't teach the lie. Excuse me, on this page you will not get any sympathy about slavery because for one, you guys didn't participate in it. You guys participated in mental slavery. Now, if you want to talk about that, we can be here for days. But as far as physical slavery, because some people co-inspire the job with slavery. Oh, well, that's how they made the U.S. economy off work. I don't know about you, but I could have swore Rome had soldiers. And I know they had a garden. I know they had people that were, sculptures and all of them. Come on, guys, start making sense. There's no reason to be upset. and why California is not giving black people reparations. For one, there was no slavery in California. None. Even if they want to say slavery was abolished in California at a certain time, there still was no slavery ever in California. There's no record of slave masters in California. So it's like, look at it, my people. My people, look at it. Look how much they prove how stupid you are. No offense. But this is what they do. They set it up in a state that is not known for slavery at all. They come up with a bunch of weird ways on how you're going to get it. You have to be born there. You have to be in a certain city at a certain time, at a certain date. It's like if you rub these two stones together at midnight on Wednesday, the genie will come and your wishes will be answered. Okay, that's kind of what you guys fell for. But it's not your fault alone because you have your Democrat counterparts. Every Negro that's on the Democratic side knows what they're doing or they don't know what they're doing. And that's the sad part about over there. You either are purposely conning the people or you don't know that you're purposely being conned. One of the two. But here's the thing. So now where do you go? And now are you ready for that real discussion about those 50,000 patents and what really happened to you? You don't like Republicans because there's a bunch of white people over there. But newsflash, you're being represented by a bunch of white people over on the Democratic Party. The only difference between the Republicans and the Democrats is one fucked you over and one is waiting for you to stop being fucked over. Now this is where the critical studying comes into play. Who gave you guns? Who gave you rights? Who has been trying to speak to you this whole time? And I know there's crooked people over there too. That's not my point. My point is, if you've been living in poverty your whole life, what's wrong with trying out a mansion? What's wrong? Nothing, right? Okay. So if you've been a Democrat your whole existence going nowhere, what's wrong with being a Republican? What's the problem? You guys afraid that you're going to have to stop smoking weed? Don't worry, it's illegal all over the place now. That's not it. So what are you worried about? I think it's something that they have taught the black community for a long time, which is being too prideful. I truly believe that's where the problem is. Because if you know that children abduction, rape, murder, all types of scandal is happening on one side, and you claim that you're not about that, but you won't switch over, it has to be because of pride. It has to be. Your ego is shot. You wouldn't know what to do if you had to admit that you've been playing for the devil the whole time. It's a hard thing to accept, I understand. But you don't have no choice because, see, you have pacified rap. Your children are more uneducated than ever. You have pacified the female leadership, and now all your households are single parent, and your women who claim that they were in bondage the whole time, now that they're free, they're just being very promiscuous, showing off their bodies as if it didn't have anything to do with you, because it didn't. Men come into play when it comes to structure and order. That's why they were mad in previous times, because they weren't allowed to walk around the streets like they're doing right now. See, women have always been promiscuous. This is nothing new. They weren't forcing the orgies back in the day. It's just a lot of drink, a lot of noise, a lot of sound. Kind of like women are today, going to the concerts, the shows, bright lights, same deal. That's why men have to be stern in order to keep things correct. But I digress. Black people weren't getting those reparations because they're asking for reparations from their slave masters. The reason that they are fucked is who they're asking to pay them. And this is why they used you for tactical reasons, you know what I'm saying? To get you to protest this and hate that. It's the same thing. It's the same reason that Donald Trump lost. He didn't lose because of the machines. He lost because of propaganda. It's what they're feeding you. They're telling you about reparations in a state that doesn't deserve it. What the hell has California done even for black people, period? Like, there's so much gangbanging and crap and drugs and bullshit that has happened from California. Why the fuck would we pay them any money? Same thing from New York. The main people that should have got some money, you would have think would have been the 13 colonies, states. That would have been the first place to start. But they're not going to pay them any money. Just like they're not going to pay California. Or they're not, it's over. But what did they do? They exposed your hand again. Same thing, just like with George Floyd. And this other dude that dressed as Michael Jackson, they're exposing your hand. They're showing that you're a racist, ignorant bigot, and you don't do any research at all. And guess what? It's all on the news. It's worldwide. Everybody can see it. My people don't play poker. They don't understand what a bluff is. You know what I mean? That was a bluff. Anybody who is historically accurate knows that that's a bluff. The best thing for black Americans to do is become Republicans and bring up their 50,000 patents and start to work on that lineage. Instead of worried about 40 acres and a mule, instead of worried about reparations. They can't even pay that. Reparations is $52 billion each American Negro. That's 44 million people. And they have to pay them all $52 billion. They're $32 trillion in debt. Where do you see $800 trillion or what they say, $15 trillion? Where do you see that at? What's wrong with black people? Like, what are you, remedial? You're living in a fantasy, just like you whining about some whippings that you never got. Now, your smartest thing would have been to become Republicans and bring up your 50,000 patents and Red Summer and Reconstruction when these Democrats killed you off, you and your white counterparts, and stole all your inventions. Then you have playing field. You have ground to stand on. Because that actually is what happened. And they know that's what happened. And do you know what else happens when you admit that? That's when all your Republican buddies start spitting the same truth. They can't say anything, Negroes, because it's not their story. And you're like, well, there's black people over there. Bro, you wouldn't hear them if they told you. Even if they shouted that shit out, because they have before. Even on people like Greg Gutfeld, even he's admitted it. He's admitted that the Democratic Party slaughtered black Americans. They're the ones who did it. He admitted it. But it's not for a pale face to tell your story. It's not for them. Just like they didn't tell you about the Ottoman Empire and how white slaves were being sold up and down the Barbary Coast after you were set free. In 1865, when you're free, there are still white slaves being sold up and down Africa. But he didn't tell you that, did he? Because it's not for him to tell you. It's for him to tell himself. It's for him to research his own shit. Okay, and once he knew that science, did he put it in the public school programming? No. This is where we need to start getting it. Everybody wants a quick get rich, quick scheme. And I understand why. Thanks to the Ethernet, you guys have gotten worse. Too many people are getting paid to tell a bunch of crap, hogwash, garbage, which keeps people behind thousands of years. But if we just look at the facts and stop arguing with people that weren't at the party about people that killed you at the party, or poisoned your drink, or stole your car keys, or what. We got to stop doing that. And that's what my people are doing. We keep pointing to the Republicans, talking to the Democrats, asking for results from the Democrats, and being played from the Democrats, blaming it on the Republicans. You're not around. You're not even next to them. How crazy is this? How crazy is this? Bloods and Crips are not government agencies. Why would you not believe that? The flag's red, white, and blue. You're supposed to be against America, but the colors are the same as the flag. Here's another weird thing. It's hot and cold. It's north and south. It's Fahrenheit and Celsius. It's God and Del. It's the same duality. It's the same thing. GDs and BDs, same thing. The reason you're not getting any reparations is because what you're asking, who you're asking for them from, and what you're asking for reparations for. Remember, it's about repair. And they keep saying it's not about cutting checks. What does this mean? When the fucking devil is talking with a forked tongue, listen to him. What does that mean? What does it mean it's not about giving checks? What do they mean by that? And if I'm agreeing with them, what am I saying? It's about your story. It's about the truth. That's how you get your money. You get your money by knowing your way home. And I always tell people, follow the breadcrumbs. Just follow the breadcrumbs. Your story ends when the Klan is created. And then all this turmoil is going on. And then you guys end up getting into the civil rights in the 50s. We've already done all this research. I've already told you about Harry Truman. I've already told you about Malcolm and Martin. I've already told you about all the different reasons why they wanted to shift you away from this shit anyway. Think about it. If I turn you from the American Negro to a black, and I put you on Afrocentrism, Reconstruction is gone. You don't even think about it. Now you're just thinking about slavery and evil master, and look at the propaganda. Look how it started. You lost all real facts for a bunch of emotionalism. That's what they did. And the 50s is when the civil rights started. And the 50s is also when Motown starts. Getting my point. See how they're getting you ready for the stage. So you got some people marching, you got some people dancing. For some reason, these two meet in the middle. And it's co-inspired through a musical artist that you get a song called Say It Loud. Fight the Power. Both versions, not just Public Enemy, but Isaac Brothers too. Mr. Big Man from the Spinners. You get all this different political talk. But say, brother, going where? Into black exploitation, and then also into duralism, like derelicts. You know what I'm saying? You're downgrading. You know, you had Dunbar back in the day. You had already built, colleges, all this different stuff, or schools. We've already discussed the Boule, black colleges, the HBCUs, because all of them have Greek fraternities, and they're supposed to be Negro, black, going to Africa, and all this different stuff. Why don't they have any African fraternities? It makes no sense. Why would they be Greek lodged based? Because the motherfuckers been sold out. But I'm saying that to say this. You guys were ramshacked by a bunch of emotional, excuse my language, niggers. Those were not the people that needed to be in there. And the whole thing was honestly like janky from the jump. You weren't going to get anything from that because it's Democrat pushed. It's in a Democrat state, Democrat voters, Democrat mind state. And here's the thing: that task force before they disbarred, they got all paid. So all your protests, all your pumping your fist, Hot 97, Breakfast Club conversation, all that crap, all y'all did was feed them people's pockets, and they dipped on you, and you ain't getting the goddamn thing. But guess what you exposed? How racist you motherfucking is. You exposed out, you want, houses for only $1, and you want to make 90,000 a year. These are motherfuckers you can't even get to work on time. You know what I'm saying? I love people to death, but I'm talking about the overall look. I don't want to talk about some boule masons that are Hollywood actors on TV, and they're like, oh, look at them, they're professional. Man, shut up. Sport games be rigged. Concerts be having fucking AI rappers and shit. They be lip singing sometimes. It's like, how you think Vanilla Ice got me in what the motherfuckers called? Milli Vanilli got caught up. Motherfuckers lip singing back in the 90s. Don't play with me. These motherfuckers ain't slick. There's so much CGI nowadays. I remember on Sopranos when his mom was dead, they fucking CGI'd her. After she was dead, they put her in like another episode and shit. You could tell it's fake as fuck. You could tell it's like this is CGI. She had been dead. The real actress had been dead. Welcome to Hollywood, guys. Welcome to the show. So when you see these people, make all this emotionalism, what does it do for you in the end? George Floyd, they had you cry over a fucking criminal, and then what did it do? It dilapidated your cities. Now all the Walmarts are moving. Who's feeling the brunt of this? You. Oh, they care about you. They want you to take the shot and jab it up and all this different shit. And it's like, okay, what did it do? Turned out what? That all these people died. Who'd you know that died from that? Y'all motherfuckers still got to use your brain. Like, I didn't know anybody that died from it. And everybody that they said that died from it, they were all like overweight or old as fuck or had problems already. It was so weird. Like the people that were dropping, I was like, but this motherfucker was already sick though. So I can't really, and I'm thinking about me. I'm like, I never jabba dabba dude. I never did nothing. So was there one time I felt like my heart raced real quick? Yeah, but it like went through in like a course of like, I don't know, 2 minutes. It wasn't even a heart attack or nothing. It was like, oh shit, like it just felt a sharp pain with the other. I can't even blame, I can't even say it's Rona. I don't know, maybe it's indigestion. I don't know. But it's like, I never jabba dabba dude. I never did any of that. But who was pushing it? See, that's what I'm saying. The people that claim they're down for you have been royally serving you a stiff one up your butt for like decades now. And to me, this should have been the final straw. It shouldn't be a bunch of people whining about, oh, we deserve everything. Yes, if you want to say you deserve some money, you do. But it's really not money that you want. For one, while you've been out here this long in the 21st century, you guys should have been developing unity and maturity amongst yourselves, each other. You know what I'm saying? To get ready for this conversation, because you guys have a lot of loose ends. You guys have a lot of loose cannons, which is going to be a big problem for if you guys were to get some money anyway, because it's like you guys aren't. It's like, what's the point of giving you the key to the city if you don't know how to run a city? If you're not going to be a mundane person about business, it's like, why would I? Like, we choose who we want to run our franchises. You know what I'm saying? It's like McDonald's. You're never going to see him in the back, taking your order, but he also his reputation is on the line. So it's like, when you're going through a hiring process for a manager position, it's a different scale of an interview anyway. That's what my people need to realize. Everything's not cute. Everything's not, I don't give a F. No, you have to be serious about life. That's why we have so many single parent households where people aren't serious about what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Your sperm is one of the strongest like gifts you have on earth, and people just give it out to anybody. You know, it's like you're not really wise on your purpose here. Um, you're not going to get the reparations for the conversations you're talking about. They know slavery is an unpayable debt. Like I said, it's $52 billion for each for 44 million people. You're insane. They're 32 trillion in debt right now. So it's like, what are you talking about? You're talking about like 15 trillion just by itself. It's like, what money? There is no money. I keep trying to tell people we're 32 trillion in debt. So now our GDP, not GOP, you know, you guys keep thinking I'm talking about Republicans. No, our GDP, our national gross, motherfucker, you know, our annual gross, okay, is only $25 trillion. Okay, this is where we live, guys. This is information you should know. You know what I'm saying? You should want to know. You know what I'm saying? If you live here and you give a fuck, like, and think about it, even foreigners don't think like this. And that's how you know who's really here for this and who's here just for some money. Because it's like, no, bro. Venezuela, shit. You could probably buy a Coca-Cola in Venezuela for a American nickel. You know what I'm saying? That's how dead like their currency is. I think in Sri Lanka you can get like you could rent a hotel room for like 3 weeks and it'd be like $150, bro. Like it's some nice stuff. You know what I'm saying? Remember they went belly up. So I'm saying that to say this: for us to be 7 under our national gross, like this is what we make, it's 25 trillion. Okay, for us to be 7 behind that, or yeah, 7. That's bad. That's $7 trillion. Okay, you guys want to add 15 trillion for a group that's not even united. Like this is not like no offense to my people. I'm saying this is why the Democrats can fuck with you. Because what you're asking for is insane. It's like, no. They know you can get your money. They know you can get your win. But it's not going to be that big, and it's not going to be like that. You'll have capital, though. You'll own land, you'll own business, you'll own cities, towers, all that different stuff. You'll have it. But not $52 billion each. No, or 52 million dollars each, I think. No, it's billion. I think it is. I think it's $52 billion each. It's like, no. It's insane. But that's for slavery itself if you counted it that way. But then they also say stuff like that. See, that's just a general number. That's not counting black slave masters. That's not counting white slaves. That's not counting a lot of different things that happened during slavery. Slavery is not so black and white like they make it sound. Hell no. Hell no. There's people that at times during slavery have more power than who you're claiming owes you your debt. There's times during slavery where Africans are more in debt than the European. There's times in slavery where you could say the Moors are more in debt. It is what it is. But one thing's for certain and two things for sure. Going about the slavery route for reparations, you were never going to get that. That's why they clowned you. The only reparations you're going to get is from your 50,000 patents and Reconstruction. That's the only legitimate story you have to where they have no choice but to pay you some money. When you tell about the slaughter, the massacre that took place for no reason, you know what I'm saying? And then when they introduced the black codes where they try to take away your guns and all that, once you bring up these points, but here's the problem. You can't bring them up on the Democratic side because they're all Republican based. So I keep trying to tell black people, your strongest points are when you were a Republican. Those are when all your inventions are. That's when everything you do that's where it is. It's right there. Why do you think for the longest they try to keep you away from it? They try to introduce you to ebonics and slang and claim that that's yours. Nah, that's the hillbilly. What are you talking about? That's the dude who was enslaving you. You keep trying to make him sound all sophisticated in the nigga. No, they don't talk like that. It's insane. You're out of your mind. Those type white people were the smart ones, remember? Those were the ones that had all the wise black people and the ones who set them free. So it's like you can't try to make up a lie because you got cracker culture. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know that book, but it's from a white person. It's a white person who's telling the story. You know what I'm saying? About his embarrassment of his country, white ancestors. You know what I'm saying? It's like he's embarrassed. He's like, we disliked hillbillies, basically, in so many words. Northern whites disliked Southern whites more than they disliked blacks. That's how ignorant they is. Now, think of today. Think about the backward brother and sister. And remember, they're supposedly from Africa. They're slave. Okay, so who taught them? Who raised them up? People can't escape reality. It is what it is. So I'm saying that to say this. The North won. It's where all your inventions are. It's where all your claim to fame is. You just keep denying it. Asking for some money that you could get, but you're going at it the wrong way. So I'll leave y'all with this. Don't be mad at the system. The system ain't got nothing to do with this one. Be mad at the Democrats. They're the ones who keep pumping your head up, telling you a lie. It has nothing to do with Republicans. Nothing. Whole task force just barred. All that is California based. All of it is liberal Democrat based. That has nothing to do with no Republicans whatsoever. And they flaked on you. Like they always do. Asian hate laws. Migrants, $500 hotel rooms. All different types of stuff is going down. We don't even have to go back in the day because, see, that's people's problem. They want to keep talking about the Jews and the Japanese. Nah, fuck all that. You can see it right now. They still ain't giving you bonehead ass nothing. You want to know why? Look how much profit you get on the back end. Black people like, what you talking about? Man, there ain't no Latino fucking Michael Jordan. We're Latinos getting praise on a basketball court like that. We're Latinos and Asians getting praise on the football field like that. Shit. Who watches baseball? No disrespect. I like baseball, but I'm being honest. You know, money coming in for no fucking baseball. Baseball, golf, NASCAR, shut up. Motherfuckers is not doing nothing compared to football and basketball alone. Period. You might get boxing in it if they start doing it right again, but boxing been kind of dead for a while. But those are the two dominant sports. Who running them? Who got all the talented singers and shit? Who got ethnic movies that get notoriety? There's not that many Latino movies that people, talk about over and over again. Now you can say that a little bit from the Asians. They got a couple kung fu flicks, but that's kind of disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? That's like saying all Mexican movies with a sombrero on or something like that. That's disrespectful. So who gets notoriety? Like, when's the last time you seen a famous Latino cricket cop or something? Like Training Day or an Asian chief commissioner or some shit like that. Like, black people always get like the angry loud black dude, especially in the 90s. They was known for playing like the commissioner, the chief. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, Beverly Hills Cop, Last Action Hero, shit. Even Resident Evil 2 had a fucking black dude that was fucking basically the fucking lead, like, cop shit. Bruh. It's cliche. You know what I'm saying? But not for no Asian, no Latino dude. When's the last time you seen a Latino commissioner? You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not to be, one time I did. Low down dirty shame. Look, up in the sky, it's birds, brains, 6 foot tall Puerto Rican. Like, yeah, One time. Once. And who gave they role? A brother. So I'm saying that to say this. It's not money that we need. We need position. We need capital. That's what the Negro in America is missing. He's missing their value, their position on the board. That comes by joining the Republican Party. Do you know what would happen if all black people became Republicans? First of all, you'd be getting married. There wouldn't be no single parent households. Y'all would be flying straight. That means you would be getting rid of the criminals in your neighborhood. You wouldn't be welcome home, Pookie and Ray Ray. No. Nigga, you going to the halfway house and you get your ass a job. You getting the fuck away from here. We're tired of you terrorizing the neighborhood. Things would be ran different. People keep not believing that, but it's impossible for you not to believe it because you've been on the other side so long. And look at you. You're 1,000 different religions. Christian, Muslim, Kemetic, atheist, others. Right. Y'all so lost in the sauce on the Democratic side because the Democratic side don't have no value. They don't care about nobody. They just care about them being right. And they're never right. They're right on what they feel. They're not right on what is true. And that's the problem. So, no money. And all the Democrat lovers was talking big shit, too. Yeah, we're about to get paid. I'm about to move to California. Nothing. I've been said, y'all not getting shit. There was no slaves out there. But now let's push the envelope a little deeper. You're not getting nothing because you're asking for something for the wrong reasons. Slavery ain't right, y'all. While y'all down. Right after slavery, y'all killed the game. Shit, y'all was running America, basically. Something happened. Paper genocide. Paper genocide happened. That's first. When they took who you were away. Better yet, I'm going to say that second. First thing they did was kill you off. You were too deep after slavery, and you were too smart. You were the one doing all the work. So all the manufacturing, the maintenance, you know what I'm saying, the tidying up, nowadays you see the Latino, they got all the cleaning jobs. Who do you think is doing that person? Who do you think the one burping and cleaning up the diapers and throw up and take it out the trash? Who do you think the original garbage man is? Now a black man can't get a garbage resist to save his life. Who do you think is the original garbage man? All that stuff, all those traits, then the things you invented. Benjamin Banneker was so innovative, he reinvented the clock. He basically created his own clock, and he's the one responsible for the Almanac, which is basically like a time capsule. You know what I'm saying? Keeping record of everything that has transpired, you know what I'm saying, decades. Very smart in agriculture, too. Then you got George Washington Carver. 300 inventions off the peanut that he discovered. That simple stuff. But all that's washed. See, that's the thing. All that's washed away. People talk about Black history, and it's like, oh, it's only a month. First of all, you don't even understand what Black history is. It's just a doorway. It's just a doorway. It's your choice of which way you want to take it. And if you notice, Martin Luther King is the one who got the Boulevard, the one who got the Holiday, the one who got, all the TV documentaries and reenactments and all this different stuff. And he's the one that was sleeping with the white women, cheating on his wife, taking pictures with Jacob Rothschild, all this, like, there's a reason that it went the way that it went. And it's going the way that it's going. And it's just to make a fool out of you. Why would they give you something they know they took from you? Why would they do that? And how would I know this? without breaking into the secret files of the Illuminati and under the Vatican. How do I know this? Because I read and I'm fair to myself. I understand the first, Republican Party in Texas was all black. I understand, the Louisiana Senate was all black. I know the truth. I know Alabama had black people in the House of Representatives in the 1800s. So when they're like, "Oh, it's the first black person in the Senate," they're lying. it's a lie. You know what I'm saying? It's a lie. But why don't you know this in your public school programming? Because they're all Democratic based. Education is not, the school system education is not true education. That's not what you're learning. What you're learning is how to be a docile slave to the program system that they're programming you for. That is what you learn. You know, um, that is why you learn slavery the way that you learn it. That is why you only get so much math. You have to go into algebra 2s, algebra 3s. It's like there's so many different degrees because in the plain public school system, you might get algebra 2 at the most, about as far as you're going to go. They're not going to give you as much because it's not for that. It's to program you to be a docile slave for the program. That is what it is. Neo, man. Anybody who's seen The Matrix, bro, like when he unplugs himself, if you notice, he's butt naked in his little like capsule. It's kind of like if he was like in a stomach, like a woman's stomach or something, and then he unplugs himself. This is the first time he's ever been awake. He's born. You're born, right? This is what happens when you're in these type of conversations outside of the public school, teaching, because that's where these people are. There's a lot of boulets in that crowd. The guy with the fucking top hat, I believe he's a boulet. I believe in there singing that good old, fake song. You know what I'm saying? Getting people all in their emotions. That's a dopamine. People don't understand that these people are spellcasters. They're sorcerers. So they work off your emotionals. You know what I'm saying? Your emotional highs, your lows. When people are talking about gematria and all that shit, it's like casting a number on somebody is one thing. But it's another thing to know how to deal with the mind of humans. You know what I'm saying? To know how to cast spells, to know how to incite the dopamines of a person's brain, to know how to get them in their low feelings, to get them in their anger feelings. It's like unsure feelings, vulnerable feelings. This is all mastery of spell casting, which you guys should be very highly introduced to due to music being basically people's teachers and parents nowadays. But that's what that is. It's the theatrics, you know what I'm saying, that's going on in the room. Telling people, oh, we made it to the mountain top, and see how they're talking all this yin yang. Nothing's getting done. Nobody's getting paid. But they're talking all these feelings. They're getting you in your emotions. And what's that do? That leads to TikTok videos, that leads to Instagram videos, YouTube videos, that leads to a bunch of videos about reparations and feelings and emotions and seeing how black people really feel. All your likes count. All your views count. They count for something. And then you're not the master holder of the Ethernet. So somebody is watching you that you don't know that's watching you, regardless if you know it or not. That is the gift and the curse of doing these videos, just period, just making videos, period. It's like somebody's watching you that you don't know is watching you, and that works for somebody higher than you ever thought, but they're watching you. No video goes unnoticed. None of them. That's why they can block any video or take down any video. It's like, what do you think? They don't know. They know. That's why you might not be famous. Like, you might not even get a lot of views. You might not even have a lot of people watching you. But still, boom, take it down. You're like, what the fuck? Little old me? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. They watch everything. Black people, it's 2023. They played the world with a pandemic. They played you out with gangster rap, blaxploitation, drugs, you name it. You'll keep coming up with a million excuses, and some of them aren't excuses. Some of them are real shit that really happened. I'm not denying your truth. What I'm saying is you have to come to terms with this one, and that is that they bojangled you into being their slave. True coon, true definition of a coon, is wearing a straw hat. Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my ragtime gal. That's barbershop quartets. Wow, in my love night. Okay, that's Dixieland. Dixiecrats. Dixieland. Sweet old Dixie. Those are the ones that love the skin melanated being alive. Italians too, and Irish. I know history. So, they would dress up like Klansmen at night. That's why the whole point of the hoods, trying to represent ghosts, because black people were very superstitious at the time, and some of you still are. Hanging chicken bones in the hallway, all types of whatever home women come up with. They would dress up like ghosts, ride horses with torches, scare black people off so they can burn the crops. Mess up your land. That's the original point. It's a prank. It's a trick. Read the documentary or watch the documentary on the Ku Klux Klan. They'll admit the original point of the Klan was tricksters, pranks. Why? Because the prank is to get you to think it's a ghost to run off so I can burn up your crops, burn up your field. It's a trick. I want you to run away. I want you to think something more. I'm just a normal man, but I want you to think something more so I can burn up your land. Okay. Keep in mind tricks. So at night they would do this. But in the morning, they would dress up in the barbershop quartet outfits with straw hats, singing outside, trying to get people to vote. Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my ragtime gal. And who do you think they got to vote for? You. Still goes on today. Vote or no bucket. Vax that thing up. It's the same thing. They just got you now doing it. Because that's the side you're on. Now you're on the side of them. Now you are them. Anybody seen Tales from the Hood? Remember the black dude? Oh, the only spooks I'm afraid of are the ones with guns. Oh, that's a good one. I use that knife if you want to be reelected. But who told him that? See, that's the science and the truth. Who told the white boy that joke? Black person. You don't think he was a Democrat? Nah, they were Republican. I told you, Dixiecrats. See, everybody that's a true Klansman never voted Republican. Never. And you can quote me on that because you can ask them. They still vote Democrat to this day. That's why when you see the white people out there on the Republican side, the ones that, you feel, oh, they're racist, you gotta say something to yourself. Is it racism or is it just white style? Are you perceiving a person as racist because the attire that they wear you credit to racist? Just like racial profile. See, just because you got a little sag in your pants don't mean you're a gang member, right? Just because you wear your hat backwards doesn't mean you're a drug dealer. Remember? So just because you see a white dude with an eagle on his hat and a red, white, and blue shirt That doesn't necessarily mean he's for the Klan. But on both sides, there are those infiltrators. There are some Democrats that all Democrats don't like. Forgot his name, but there was one of them that they didn't like for a long time because he wouldn't vote the way that they wanted him to vote. But I said it to say this. Go back home. Just once in the existence of this country before it falls to shit. Just once. Go back home and study your creations. Study your patents. All 50,000 of them. And then recuperate your minds to get off of that imaginary slave boat that you were never on and stop whining and put a little backbone in it. And realize you got to take out your garbage and you got to straighten up. Once we do that, everything else will fall in place. And then we can really get to the Indian discussion and get some land, because the land is pretty much already there through the Republican Party, through your patents, through Reconstruction, through what happened. That is why you're messed up in this country. It is the untold story of what happened to you. They told you about slavery forever. They told you about civil rights forever. They did not tell you about all the business that you brought here, or invented here, should I say, and they killed and stole. Everybody on earth should know that the black man invented the bed. The oak bed, the beautiful beds, the ones that used to have the draping up. Everybody should know that. Everybody remember grandma bed. Everybody remember, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how old OG y'all is. Everybody knew somebody in their family that had them OG oak beds. The big ass fucking prongs and shit stand up. And like I said, you had the little veil joints hang on the side. Beautiful joints. Egyptian style type beds. An American Negro invented that. Henry Ford. Henry Boyd. One of the two. Invented that. It's like your gauze for your surgical procedures. That's how you know we Egyptians. It's not about being African. It's about this Indian and this Egyptian situation, because they had gauze too. Well, the person who invented gauze over here was a melanated being. But it doesn't matter. It's not about bragging points. It's about, why don't you know that? Why don't you know that, you invented the stoplight? Why not? Why is that not bragged about? If it's bragged about somebody getting hit in the head with an apple and creating gravity or discovering gravity, why wouldn't it be bragged about the stoplight? Why not? Why does all your inventions got to have secondary help? Somebody else had to help it out. Why? Till next time, yo. And I think next time I'm gonna show the Indian pennies. I think that's what it's time for. I think the oldest pennies on American soil have Indian crowns on them, but it's different type of crowns. It's the OG crown. Till next time. Yo, man. Yo, you wanted to pay you. Not getting no fucking money. You're going at it wrong. That's all I'm saying. Money is old, and the money is there, and we can get it. But if you're not going to tell them the truth, if you're not going to go at it the correct way, if you're not going to be honest, we're not going to get anything.